Thank you. Malik.
Good afternoon, Governor. Thank you for being here. I'm Malik. I'm a freshman. I'm studying economics and international relations. As we mentioned earlier, the United States is facing a K-12 education crisis. Under your leadership, Florida has maintained really high rankings in education, and as mentioned earlier, your administration has devoted a lot of energy towards education reform. However, it's not just a state issue, it's a national issue. And Secretary Rice has said that it's a civil rights issue of our time and possibly one of our nation's greatest national security threats. Yet, despite education ranking as a top concern for the majority of voters in polling, it's rarely discussed prominently in national politics. For instance, in the last year's 2 presidential debates, it wasn't even mentioned once. In your view, what do you believe it will take to make much-needed education reform a true priority for political leaders on both sides of the aisle?
Great question. So, well, one, just Florida. So I talked a little bit about school choice, but listen to this. I mentioned charter schools. So these are public schools, not run by school districts. The schools have no entitlement to a student, like it's only if parents choose to send their kids to the charter school. We have about 400,000 kids in Florida that are in charter schools, and that's more than the K-12 population of a number of states in this country. If our charter population, which is lower income than average student in Florida, a higher percentage of both African American and Latino than the average school in Florida, if that were its own state, it would rank top 5 in America for student achievement. And so people can succeed, but the parents need to be able to have options to be able to put them in programs that make sense. And there has to be incentives for the people that are running a charter school, private school, or a school district to innovate so that you're attracting folks. And so we've shown that the school choice does work. And guess what? As we have done more school choice, our school districts have had to innovate because they're battling for students. And so we've created, I think, positive incentives. Now, federally, the one thing I think the Department of Education, no mandates, just get out of our hair as a governor, that's kind of my posture. The one thing they did, it's not going to be through the Department of Education, is they have this school choice tax credit program now nationally. And, I believe education's a local and state. I don't want the federal government involved in it. But on this one, I'm actually supportive of it because you're never going to get school choice in Chicago. You're never going to get school choice in San Francisco. You're never going to get it in some of these places, most likely, because of the school unions, right? And so this is going over the top rope, basically, offering these scholarships. And I think what it'll be is a corporation can check off some of their income tax. It goes into a fund. I mean, I'll tell you, you do 10, 15 billion a year, which you could raise easily through the checkoff. You would be able to do, I think it's about 100,000 kids for every billion. I mean, you're talking about hundreds of thousands, millions of kids maybe, depending on how much across this country. I think that can potentially be very positive. They got to make sure they administer it properly. I think it's going to be done through the Treasury, but it's been something that I've been supportive of for a long time. So stay tuned on that. They got to make sure parents know about it. They got to make sure that it's meant to see in Florida. All the parents know now about ours is called Step Up for Students is the one that runs it. I want Step Up. I want Step Up. They'll ask for every private school, do you take Step Up? Do you take Step Up? We have some elite private schools that don't take the scholarships. And that's basically, I think it's more of an elitism that they're trying to do. It's a demographic play. But most 95% take our scholarships. I think you're going to see new schools come up in places like Chicago because they have a guaranteed source of funding that has nothing to do with the local government or the state government or the teacher union. And I think it potentially be very good. So on a national, you got to be careful with the federal government, but on that one, I think that's an appropriate way to use the tax system.